Hello mga kasmile, welcome back to my channel. So andito tayo, so welcome to Hebron. So ito ang ating second destination.
And mentions the city's massive fortification, Numbers 13:22 and Deuteronomy 1:28. So don't forget that passages in the Bible. The staircase adjacent to the city walls is 4,500 years old and led to the gate of the city. This is probably the location where the biblical Abram made the first Jewish purchase in the land of Israel, a family burial plot which came to be known as the tomb of the ancestors, or Machpelah. The double cave at the highest point of Hebron stands, a medieval structure located atop the Jewish tradition records as the tombs of the biblical Ruth, great grandmother of King David, and her grandson Jesse or Jesse, father of King David. King David ruled Judea from Hebron for 7 years and was crowned king over all Israel in Hebron before moving to Jerusalem. 2 Samuel 5. Okay? So tandaan niyo ha, pinurchase ang Machpelah, pero dito naganap ang bilihan. Ayan. Kaya tayo pupunta rito. Maliban doon si Ruth at saka si... So gets na natin? Ayan. O sige, picture muna.
Ayan, so naandito tayo sa ano to? Ayan, so andito tayo pa rin sa Hebron.
Ay, ni Ruth.
Ishai or Jesse in English. Alright, so
Tombs of Ruth
Jesse in English.
and Jesse.
The father of David.
Sa Hebron yan.
Carry your gown. You're stepping on your gown.
Masal tov, masal tov.
Way. Bathroom.
We're the first ones to come here. See, another graveyard. Not graveyard, but a graveyard.
Mga sunod-sunod na vlogger. Ayan po si Papa Ots. At ang iyong pong lingkod si Jesse Miles. At
Jesse Miles.
ito po si
With Grace.
This is the tomb. Alright.
Ayan o. Hindi ko mababasa yan.
Here.
Bahala ka. Doon na. This way to Bulubundukin. Ano yan yung green olives yan?
Oo.
Yan ang may bunga. Pwede kainin yan eh. Bite pa?
Oo, kailangan.
Green olives.
Big fruit.
And also fig fruit here.
Ayan o, apatot. Anong fruit ito?
Big fruit. Yung
Ito yung
kinurse
sinumpa ni
ng Panginoon
Jesus.
Kristo.
Ito pala yun. Ang sarap niya. Nakatikim na ako niyan.
Gawin niyo matamis.
Pero hindi ko alam ang tawag.
Fig fruit.
Ayan na no. Tamis.
Ang tamis.
Ano nga to? Ito yung ano yan?
Ah,
Ano yan?
Yung
Ayan o, ano yan?
almond.
Rimon.
Rimon? Pang riband yun na.
Yun po yung
Almond?
Hindi yung isa.
Ito?
Yung nandun sa ano.
Olive na lanta. Hindi na.
So we are
Masyadong maingay.
now entering the holy place. Ayan, so may makakita niyo po, may nagpipray. Ay, ang ganda ng rose, oh.
Ano yan?
Rose. Ganda na. Hello.
This is the room. You can read the signboard. You can take a picture also of the information. Dahil halipin yung mahal na kita dito ng mga Jews rin.
Ayan, so mga pansin, marami nagpipray dito ng mga Jews sa lugar na ito.
Nandito po kami ngayon sa Jesse, brother of David, and the location of the grandfather of David.
marks the location of the ancient city of Hebron. According to ancient tradition, the top of the hill is where Jesse, father of King David, and Ruth, mother of royalty, are entombed. So ito yung lugar. Mother of King David and Ruth. So ito na po yung tomb, yung yan. So nakita niyo naman kung gaano yung lugar na napakatagal na. So yeah, so yung structure ng building ay halos yung mga bato na lang ang natira. So ito yung lugar dito. At makikita nyo ang resident area ng Hebron dito sa paligid nito.
הזדמנות לטייל פה בארץ.
נכון, איזה כיף.
זה כיף.
כן, נכון. ממש תהנו.
תודה רבה.
איזה כיף לכם.
תודה. שנה טובה.
שנה טובה.
חג
Of course.
Pwede punta na eh. Si Veronica. Si Veronica.
Okay. Sure. You can do maybe this. No,
Yes, dito
because it's for YouTube.
nagpipray talaga sila lahat ng nandito sa makikita niyo.
Okay, okay.
Kaya nagpipray sila.
What is your channel? Maybe I'll check out.
Ito yung tingnan natin kung anong meron dito. So, ayan. Hindi natin alam kung ano sa loob ng cave na yun. So, nakasarado siya.
And they can give you some explanation.
Igos.
Ay, ito ba ang puno ng igos? Eh, di ba yan yung ano?
Pigs.
Oh, pigs. Ah,
Ayan yung fruit.
sa Tagalog pala ay ano?
Ay, teka lang. Yung puno.
So, para tayong nasa Garden of Eden. Sabay pa nga. puro nagpipray. Nagbabasa ng Bible sa lugar na ito. Ayan, so paalis na kami at ito yung living ng father ni King David and the mother of Ruth. Ayan. Ayan, so andito na ang aming mga kasamahan at ako na lang palang nahuhuli. Ayan, so magkakaroon tayo ng picture taking.
Ayan na. Makompleto na tayo.
Ayan.
Uy, doon ka ba? Uy, nasan si Irene? Aye.
Ayan.
Kompleto na?
Ayan, so itong lugar na ito ay ayan, so dito tayo sa mga puno ng olives. Titingnan natin kung anong story meron dito sa lugar na to.
Dito tayo sa
Ayan, so ang daming mga olives. Ayan, daming bunga.
Until here, it's okay? Yeah, only here. Only here, in the chair. Gwapo naman yun ah.
Baka tayo mag-iba dito. Ilang years na rin tong bangkong ito dito.
Panahon pa.
Para tayong nasa ano ni Jesus.
Sa Emperador.
Dito lang.
Wala pang nonsense. Yan ay sa ilatag ang pangkakit.
Headphones.
Louie, upo ka. Mamay, may ano dyan.
Video-video pa lang naman yung mga nagpa-vlog dyan.
Shout out, Pastor!
Ano?
Charot, wala.
Sige.
Wala to.
Like, subscribe, share, Nakotserong Pastor. Israel.
Pag ganito.
Ayan, Brother Rudy.
Ayan, nakapag-subscribe.
Ronnie, shalom. And from Malaysia. Aba, may nanonood sa atin from Malaysia.
Wow! Hello dyan sa Malaysia.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Welcome to Israel.
Welcome to Israel.
So rest lang kami saglit. Mag-relax lang muna kami saglit. Okay. Alright, so ayan. Okay. So let me paraphrase or summarize some of the stories sa inyo. Well, basically na-discuss na natin kanina. I already discussed to you the purchasing of the cave of Macpela. And it happened, that event took place in this place. Because this is the very center of life in the ancient of time here in Hebron. Okay, this mountain, this place called Tel Hebron. This is the ancient city during the time of Abraham. So when Abraham wanted to purchase the cave of Machpelah, he met with the Hittites in this place until they have the agreement to purchase the cave of Machpelah. Now, so let's not go further anymore about that because we already discussed that. So another interesting thing here in this place happened in the Book of Numbers chapter 13. Book of Numbers chapter 13. And then let's begin in verse 17. Now from Kadesh Barnea, where Moses chose the 12 spies to go and survey the entire land of Canaan. So they started from Kadesh Barnea, and that's in the south. And it says, and Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, get you up this way southward, and go up into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwell therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that dwell in, whether in tents or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not, and be of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe of grapes. Amen. Kaya we ought to taste the grapes here in Hebron. Okay? Now, that's the season of grapes. And then what happened? So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rehob. Have you been in Abdat? In Abdat, the valley. That's the portion of the valley of Zin, or the wilderness of Zin. So the Israelites, they passed through. The spies sent by Moses, they passed through that wilderness. And then what happened? Wilderness of Zin and to Rehob, as men come to Hamath, and they, listen to this, and they ascended by the south. Now basically, when you encounter the word south in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament time, it refers basically to Beersheba. Okay? So nahihirapan yung nagbablog, dito ka nga bro, punta ka dito. Punta na lang ako dito. Dito na lang ako. Yan. Alright. So mas maigi, hindi ka nakikita. Alright. So tuloy natin. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin and to Rehob, as men come to Hamath, and they ascended by the south, or in other sense by Beersheba, and came unto Hebron. They came here in Hebron. Oh, nandyan sila. Galing sila doon. Hindi ka pumunta siguro doon sa likod. Okay. Nandito kami. Slika. Ang report ng spy, umuwi na kayo doon sa bus.
Mamalita ko niya.
Fake
Langos
news.
ka.
Fake news.
The spy said you already went back in the bus. Ay. Anyamot. Okay. Ha? Nagdasal pa kayo. O sige. Kasi simula pa lang naman namin. Ulitin natin yan. Let's summarize. Ando.
Dami dun. Ganda nga dun eh.
Ganda sa likod.
Ayan, nandiyan na. Alright, so okay. Game na ba tayo?
Para di nakapunta dun tayo sa lugar na.
Sa likod.
Alright. So, ayan. So, from Kadesh Barnea, Moses sent out 12 spies to survey the entire land of Canaan. Ay, para mas maganda, one more. Listen up. Okay. So, namnamin natin itong ating paglalakbay, no? So, I'm giving you as much as I can. I want to give you the best trip of the day. Especially you are Sunday trippers, you're special. Buti na lang sumama si Veronica. Okay, sis, pakihawak saglit. So, what is this? So, let me tell you, this is Kadesh Barnea. Alright? So, from here, in Kadesh Barnea, from this side, okay? So Moses sent out the 12 spies from this area, and they started to survey the land, okay, the entire land of Canaan until here, okay? Ayan, sa tuktok. Ayan, pakihawak. So mula dito in the wilderness of Sin, this is the Boker, that's the wilderness of Sin. So from here, they go there until they go to the south. What is the south in the Bible or in the King James? Or in other version, that's Beersheba. They go into the south or in Beersheba. And from Beersheba, they go continually to Hebron until they go up surveying the entire land of Canaan for 40 days. And then as they go back to Kadesh Barnea, they pass through again here in Hebron, and they pick up grapes, pomegranates, and figs in this area. Somewhere here. That's why Hebron is very famous concerning grapes. The best grapes in the land of Israel is here in Hebron. And then pomegranates, you can see pomegranates everywhere here in Hebron. And also the fig fruits, nandun lang. We have fig trees there. So that's the situation in those days when the spies came. So let's continue the story. So, and they ascended by the south of Beersheba came to Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were now in Hebron, was built 7 years before Zoan, Egypt. So, when the spies came here in Hebron, they saw the children of Anak. And the children of Anak, they were the giants here in the land of Canaan in those days. Alright? So, and it says Hebron is built 7 years before the main city of Egypt was built, which is known as Zoan. And they came unto the brook of Eshcol and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they buried it between two upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. So that's why in Israel, especially, you can see the symbol on the tourist buses. There's a two-person carrying a grapes, and that represents Joshua and Caleb picking up the grapes around here in Hebron. And they brought that back to Moses in Kadesh Barnea. Let's continue on. The place was called the Brook of Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence, and they returned from searching the land after 40 days. So 40 days they surveyed the entire land of Canaan. And then what happened? And they went and came to Moses to Aaron in Kadesh Barnea, and to all the congregation of the children of Israel, and unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back forth unto them, and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. Now listen to this. And they told him and said, We came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. So you see, who are those? Caleb and Joshua, giving Moses the grapes, the fruits, and telling Moses, describing to Moses the beauty and the goodness of the land of Canaan. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great, and moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Now, during the days of Abraham, this mountain is already a walled city. That's why we can see rocks from everywhere. That is part of the fortified city. And also, I think at the back of this house, and I'm not sure if you are not allowed to go there, maybe not. At the back of that house, we can see some ruins dated back in the time of Abraham. And we can see also stairs, and according to geographical discoveries, that stairs dated back when the time arrived here in Hebron. So Abraham passed through that stairs to enter this top of the city of Hebron. So yun mga kapatid. So nagets ninyo? Alright? So, and then what else? That's why Joshua said, the cities are walled, the people are strong and very great, and moreover, we saw the children of Anak there, the giants in the land, the giants in Hebron, Kiryat Arba. We saw the giants there. And the Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it." Now imagine that. Caleb says, we were able to overcome it. Kaya lang ano nangyari? What happened next? I hope there is no other spies. Because when the 10 spies came and gave their report, this is what happened. But the man that dwelled with but the man that went up with him said, "We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." So now, Caleb and Joshua are very affirmative to conquer the land. The problem with the 10 spies, they are very negative. We cannot conquer the land. And then what else? They said, "And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature, or giants. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our sight a grasshopper, and so we were in their sight." So very negative. That's why after hearing the report of the 10 spies, all the Israelites except Joshua and Caleb, they doesn't want to enter anymore the land of promise, the land of Canaan. Everybody is afraid. Everybody wants to go back in Egypt. And they said, "Let us raise our own leader and let us go back in Egypt." But then Caleb and Joshua stood firm, encouraging the people, "Let's continue, because if God is before us, who can be against us?" So, stop muna natin dyan. Now, let's move on to other story. And we will end here. Now, question. Why Ruth and Jesse is buried in this place? Why Ruth and Jesse is buried there? In this place. Jesse was born in Bethlehem. And Ruth is a Moabite. That's in Jordan. The question is, why Jesse and Ruth is buried in this place, particularly in this isolated area? Now the answer can be found in 2 Samuel chapter 5. It says here, "Then came all the tribes of Israel to David and to Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. Also in the time past when Saul was king over us, thou wast he that lead us out and brought us in Israel. And the Lord said to thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be captain over Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the king to Hebron, and King David made a league with the Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel." Now listen to this. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. In Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. So David, paki-close lang ito matawag. Because when King Saul wanted to kill David, Hebron became the city of refuge of David against King Saul. So some of the great warriors, soldiers, followed King David, and this became their strongholds. So the tribe of Judah, basically the tribe of Judah, they supported David. Since Hebron is part of the land of Judah, so David made his capital here in Hebron in the beginning. So he reigned here for 7 years and 6 months. Now, it was not written in the Bible, but according to history and malikot na isip, we can speculate that during those times that David is reigning as king here in Hebron, that was the time that his father died, Jesse, and that could be the reason why Jesse was buried there. And another thing, the probability is he moved the bones or the remains of his grandmother and was buried also here in Hebron. So that's the reason why the tomb of Jesse and Ruth was here in Hebron. So and then what happened? So all the elders of Israel, basically from Jerusalem, they came here in Hebron, pleading to David, "Come and rule over us," because Saul is already died, and they want a strong king to become their leader. So that's why from here, David moved his capital to Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is not part of the land inheritance of Judah. that is part of the land inheritance of Benjamin, tribe of Benjamin, which is the tribe of King Saul. So it's like a 50-50. You from the tribe of Judah reign us, but you have to stay in our land territory in the tribe of Benjamin. So that's it mga kapatid. So alright, so hanggang dyan lang muna tayo ngayon. So thank you so much for listening. Let's go back in the bus mga kapatid. I hope you pick up something, you learn something. To God be the glory. Masalto once again.
Yan, natapos na yung kwento ng
Masalto!
Ayan, kumbak na. Dito ang tomb ni Jesse.
Kala ko may tanong ka? Kala ko may tanong kayo.
Ano to? So, pupunta na kami ngayon sa
Tutuloy na lang natin.
another destination. So, ito yung pangalawang destination namin. Ayan, so, ito kami magkakasama. Ayan, so mga kasmile, keep on watching sa aking mga vlog. At may pupunta na naman tayong bagong destination. Ayan, maraming pong salamat. Ayan, so bye-bye for now mga kasmile.